back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing kind of like a first trimester update recap. I'm gonna kind of be going through some of the symptoms that I felt, some of the things that I felt like really helped me through my first trimester. And then also I went ahead and I Googled a lot of common questions that a lot of people sometimes want to know, and I'm going to be answering them. So you guys go ahead, grab a cup of coffee, some tea, whatever you'd like to drink, a snack, and sit down and let's chat about it. I have myself here a chai latte, but this is actually really delicious. I'm surprised that I don't get them more often because it's so good. So I'm currently 13 weeks pregnant, probably 13 weeks in a few days, somewhere in there. But so I'm nearing the end of my first trimester, which I have to say is really funny about that. One thing I have to say is first trimester used to always end at 12 weeks. So I don't know when or why this ended up getting changed, but I know for at least my first 3 pregnancies, that was always, you were done with your first trimester at 12 weeks and then you were into your second. Now, especially with my last pregnancy and then this one, I hear that your first or your second trimester doesn't start till 14 weeks. So I don't know why that necessarily changed. I don't really know, but that's how far along I am. This will be my 5th baby, 6th pregnancy overall. And I think let's go ahead and first start with symptoms. So a lot of common symptoms obviously are fatigue, nausea, bloating, and of course I do experience most of those. I do have to say, with each subsequent pregnancy, you will feel either more symptoms or you will feel them sooner. So that definitely holds true for me. I did notice, especially with this one and my last one, I felt symptoms very, very early on. I knew I was pregnant before my missed period. So I think that's just something that when you have subsequent pregnancies, you just tend to feel things a lot sooner. Your body's really used to it and it just kind of knows what to do. My worst week, where I probably felt absolutely awful, was week 5. So really early on, my symptoms hit pretty hard. And that was fatigue and nausea. So those are probably about the 2 biggest ones I think that you're going to hear a lot. Fatigue is really common, and I feel like the more pregnancies you have, you really do feel that a lot. And that was really, that hit me really hard. I felt like again this round, and I know it hit me hard with my last pregnancy too, that you just feel just this, you're just so tired. You're just exhausted. Honestly, you wake up feeling exhausted and you sleep hard all night long. And it just sometimes doesn't really go away until you're in your second trimester. Definitely this week, I would say week 12. And this week, I'm definitely feeling my energy come back. I definitely feel like I'm coming out of that like fatigue cloud. And I don't feel like I need to take a nap every day. I actually feel like I can accomplish things. And I think that's sometimes what pregnant women maybe don't expect, is that it's the type of fatigue you just don't want to do anything. You just want to surf the couch, or it's just really hard to do things. So it's pretty expected. Fatigue is pretty hard, and I definitely experienced that. Now, nausea. I want to say I don't get really bad nausea. I have never thrown up through my pregnancies due to morning sickness. But each time I've been pregnant, I do notice I get a little bit more nauseous, and week 5 was really bad for that. I was really nauseous most of the time. I would wake up feeling nauseous. I was able to kind of sip on coffee slowly, and then it would hit me where I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm starving. I have to eat. And so I would hurry up and I would eat, and the second I was done eating, the nausea would hit again. So that really just lasted through week 5 for me. It was really the worst for me, was just that really bad nausea. It did kind of obviously linger where I would still have some really bad moments of feeling really nauseous. Sometimes I'd go like 2-3 days of just having horrible nausea where I feel like I couldn't eat anything. It was awful. But really that week 5 was, I would say, would be about the worst for me. Definitely eating smaller meals when you feel nauseous is really good. Just kind of if you can eat smaller, more frequent meals, kind of in a sense, think of it 6 meals a day. Eat something for breakfast, something small in between breakfast and lunch. Eat your lunch, something in between lunch and dinner. It definitely helps kind of ward off really bad nausea. When you get an empty stomach and you're nauseous, it can just really tailspin and it can make you feel worse. So really try to keep food on your stomach. Another pretty classic symptom is bloating. Obviously, you will just feel disgustingly bloated. I went through a stage in the beginning where even though my clothes fit me, I feel like they didn't fit me. I was uncomfortable. You just feel kind of gross and just bloated. Heartburn is another one. Now I feel like this isn't a super common first trimester symptom. It can be. I feel like that actually tends to come more later on in your pregnancy when you're a lot bigger and that baby's really pushing up on your stomach more and you can't just seem to eat a whole lot of food. Heartburn can really happen. But I do have to say this, it is different for everybody. So my symptoms aren't going to be like really anybody else's. Maybe some people might be able to relate to what I go through, but everybody is different. Another one is insomnia. So this is different for everybody, I feel like, but some women, especially in the beginning when you really feel that fatigue, you sleep so hard. Like you can sleep all night long, never wake up and you're tired and you can like want to sleep the day away. And that's true really in the beginning. I would say about midway through my first trimester, I kind of started to, I don't want to say true insomnia, but like I wake up a lot more at night, especially to pee. You're going to pee a lot more and just really like an uncomfortableness sleeping at night. I am now at the point I can no longer sleep on my stomach and I'm a big stomach sleeper. So that's kind of hard for me, and sleeping on my sides, my shoulder, my hips will hurt and my back will really hurt at night. So not so much that I really can't fall asleep, but it's just like more of an uncomfortableness where it's making it harder for me to sleep. Back pain with pregnancy is really common. Now you want to be careful about where you're experiencing your pain. I did go through an ectopic pregnancy and I experienced a lot of pain in my upper back, which was technically around in my shoulders, especially like my shoulders back here, but I didn't really connect that with being a symptom of ectopic. Now, if you are experiencing lower back pain, that is really common for a typical pregnancy. A lot of your weight is being shifted to the front, and so your back's kind of taking more of that strain. I feel like that's another one that comes with having more kids. Round ligament pain, that's another one that's pretty common. And I've never experienced severe round ligament pain. I know some people have. I don't think I've ever really experienced it too badly. If I have, I don't remember, but maybe around one of my first or second pregnancies, I might have. So I would say last symptom, and probably the biggest one, is cravings or food aversions. So this is something I think every pregnant woman goes through. Some I think comes later on in your pregnancy, especially probably the cravings. Food aversions are pretty common in the beginning because you're already feeling nauseous and just certain things can just make you feel even worse, or you just want to turn your nose up at. I know the smell of raw meat or cooking meat was really gross for me. I'm kind of past that now, but that was a tough one. Dog food. I know this is weird, but we keep our dog food in like a bin back over here in my pantry. So whenever my kids would go get the scoop, I would just smell it. I'm like, oh, it's so gross. But I definitely had a lot of cravings. I love food in general, but I would go through bouts. I would say probably my first ones were sweets. I really, really craved sweets. And it was kind of across the board. Sometimes it'd be like I want a lot of chocolatiness. Other times it'd be really cinnamony. And I remember probably really one specific one was I really wanted cinnamon rolls. And it was pretty late one evening and I was like, I want a cinnamon roll so badly. And my husband so sweetly tried to go out and find me one. But this is probably like 6, 7 o'clock at night. No bakery is opened. And no grocery store is gonna have cinnamon rolls, but he did go to Panera and he found me like a cinnamon roll bagel or a cinnamon bagel, which that hit the spot. That was pretty good. And then crumble cookies, I've been kind of big on. Another very specific craving was KFC. Another symptom that I'm just now remembering that I forgot to add in here was migraines. For my first 3 pregnancies, I never experienced migraines, and I don't on a daily basis like when I'm not pregnant. But definitely this pregnancy, and I know I did my last one too, so my 4th and 5th pregnancy, I really dealt with migraines. I remember last pregnancy, my doctor told me to take like a one-time dose of ibuprofen because I was like at the right amount of weeks that it was okay. This time around, I like had a migraine for about 2-3 days, and it was really bad. I tried Tylenol, it wasn't working, and they prescribed me Excedrin, and for some reason I had the most weirdest side effects with Excedrin. Like the side of my face felt numb. I got really dizzy and felt super jittery, and it didn't work for me either. It didn't take away my migraine. Luckily, the doctor did prescribe me some promethazine, which is typically used for morning sickness for pregnant women. So it is completely safe during pregnancy, but they said that they have seen it sometimes work with taking away migraines. Thank the Lord that it did help and it took away my migraine. And so I'm really happy with that. So that is, I think, another pretty common symptom. Mine has definitely been towards the end of my first trimester. And so that is another one. Watch out for, don't mess around with them. If they're bad, call your doctor. Those are about the biggest symptoms that really occurred during your first trimester. If you guys have experienced any different ones down below, comment. I want to know kind of what other people, like what really stands out to you during your first trimester, but hopefully this helps you guys. Now let's talk about some must-haves during your first trimester of pregnancy. Now a lot of these are going to be able to help you get through the fatigue, the nausea, and just maybe some things you'd like to have on hand in general. So the first thing that I think can really help with nausea is tea. Peppermint tea, ginger tea. Now obviously you want to be careful with some teas because certain herbs or certain just things as being pregnant you can't have. But I know in general, peppermint and ginger tea are very safe. I definitely like, ginger and chamomile tea. Chamomile is good for if you're kind of needing a little bit more relaxation for harder time. Lemon and ginger tea is really good. There is this one by Earth Mama Angel Baby, which I'll try to put a picture up here, and I'll try to link anything else down below. That is a really good tea. I remember I really enjoyed this with my other pregnancies. Sadly enough, I didn't get it this time. I don't know why. I had like a little bit left over, and it was really great. It's very mild tasting and definitely helps soothe the tummy. Things that kind of really help ease your stomach was, I think, these candy sweets by Pink Stork. These are really great at just kind of easing your stomach with that nausea. Sometimes it can get rid of that bad taste. I know some women really experience that metallic tasting in their mouth, and that's really good. Having peppermint gum on hand or even just mince, something to kind of suck on, because I like ginger chews. Again, I don't have any with me, otherwise I would show you them, but these were really great. I love the ginger chew. They work so well at helping ease my stomach, would sometimes take away nausea. Now, these ones I found, this is Baby and Me Too. These are morning sickness and nausea relief. These are soft chews. This flavor is honey, lemon, and ginger. And I bought these from, I think it was the Vitamin Shop. I know they have vitamin B6 in there. They have ginger root in here. Obviously they have like honey to kind of sweeten it. When I first tried them, I remember, man, it really took away my nausea super quickly. And I think it was really that B6 in there, because I know B6 is really great for nausea too. If that's something you guys want to try. I've never like specifically tried B6. I've never went out and like bought it myself to try it, but I know it works for a lot of women. I've never done that, but I think it was the B6 in here that really like one time kicked it. But for some reason after that, I could not stand these. It's definitely a texture thing too. These are very much of a soft chew. It gets this weird texture in your mouth as you're chewing it, and it kind of breaks apart but doesn't really go away. It's weird. And so that was really hard for me. And then anytime after I did take these, it actually made my nausea worse. I don't know if it was the taste or if there's something else in here, because there's cane sugar in here, there's rice syrup, there's sunflower lecithin. I don't think there's anything really too specific that would make my nausea a lot worse, but it definitely didn't help. Definitely 7-Up is another good one. I sipped on these a lot when I was really nauseous. Getting some Propel or liquid IV to really keep up your hydration is really good during your first trimester. You want to stay hydrated. I know a lot of people love this, but for me, it's way too sugary. Like, it's too much of a sugary taste for me. Very, very sweet, but I actually don't notice any benefit like I actually do from Propel. I don't know if it's like, I don't know, a mind thing, but I really enjoy Propel more than liquid IV. But these are really nice to have. Calm's Magnesium is really great if you, again, are having kind of like some time a hard time sleeping. This is nice to take. Definitely get yourself some good prenatals. I really like these ones by Nature's Sunshine. They've never made me feel nauseous. I always feel really good when I take these. So those are things that you definitely want to get during your first trimester. Okay, let's just kind of go ahead and speed this along. Answer some questions, some commonly asked questions. These weren't any specific from any of my viewers. I don't really have a way to ask you guys any specific questions since I don't have like the community YouTube action yet on my page, and I'm not really big on social media like Instagram, so I Googled like really common questions. Are we finding out the gender? No. Just a quick answer, no, we're not finding out. We found out with all of our other kids. We were there. With our last one, we did do like a gender reveal where we had just my dad actually find out early, and he filled the little thing with balloons and we pulled the string. This time we're waiting until the baby's born. We've never done it. You know, I just think it's a really cool concept to not know what your baby is going to be until the baby's born and my husband can announce it like, hey, it's a boy or girl. He enjoys doing that. My husband actually really help deliver our children. So he's excited for it. We're excited to experience something different. Baby's due date is in December, so it's kind of like a Christmas present, early Christmas present. So we're excited for that. Do we have baby names picked out? Yes, we do. We are very certain with our baby names. Girl names have been this time around a lot harder. With both my other daughters, I knew the names I wanted. One of my daughter's name is Emma, and she's actually my younger daughter. Funny story though, when I was pregnant with my oldest, her name is Daphne. It wasn't a name we actually had picked out. We were actually going to name her Emma. But then something, I was like, I don't know, I want to explore different options. I really wanted to look at baby names, and for some reason the name Daphne really stuck out at me, and my husband liked it. We're like, yeah, let's name her Daphne. And I remember my mom was kind of upset. She goes, what? Like, no, but it grew on her quickly. She loved it, and we love, like, her name just fits her. And then obviously I've had the name Emma picked out for years before I was ever pregnant. Same with my older son, William. I've had that name picked out forever. I know I had that name picked out because of the movie The Knight's Tale. The main character guy's name is William in there, and it just like stuck with me. I was like, William, like, yeah, that's the name I want my son to be, and it stuck. Luckily, my husband's been liking the choices I make. Our last baby was Wyatt. We just knew after we had our son William, we liked the names. We really liked the name Wyatt, and so we just went with it. So we do have names picked out for whether if we have a boy or a girl. We're not going to share them probably until the baby's born. Of course our family knows, but yeah, we definitely have names picked out. Pregnancy skincare routine. If you guys are more interested in really seeing kind of an in-depth routine, let me know. I definitely feel like I've gotten a good skincare routine down this pregnancy. It is hard, especially if you deal with acne, because a lot of things are restricting, but I definitely use a cleanser that is for acne. This is the one by Green Envy, if you guys can kind of see that. This is really good. It doesn't have any salicylic acid in it though, but usually face washes that do have salicylic in it are safe because they're pretty low and you're not keeping on your skin. Things that are safe are lactic acid. So this is the lactic acid I use by The Ordinary. Sorry, like that light's kind of washing it out. Lactic acid and oxalic acid. These are ones that I use for my acne. Really great at doing it. And then just like a good moisturizer. Pretty simple, nothing too crazy, but really talk to your doctor, or if you have a dermatologist, see what you can use for your skincare pregnancy. Do you like being pregnant? I think a lot of women wonder, do you like being pregnant? I know some women don't like being pregnant. I can firmly say I love being pregnant. Obviously, I have 5 kids. If I didn't love being pregnant, why would I have 5 kids? I know, it's true. I do love being pregnant. I think this is my first pregnancy, though, that I really feel done. I'm done being pregnant. I've experienced it 5, well, technically 6 times, and I can feel my body just kind of telling me this is gonna be our last one. I do feel like as you get older, pregnancy does get harder on your body. The more kids you have, it's a little bit harder. So I can say I definitely love being pregnant, and I do enjoy being pregnant, especially this time, but I can tell this time around I am kind of done being pregnant. And some women just don't enjoy it, and I think that's fine if you don't enjoy it. It's okay. So don't beat yourself up if you're not liking pregnancy. It's transitioning from having 0 to 1, 1 to 2 kids, or 4 to 5 kids. Is a transition hard? I would say your hardest transitions in having your kids, or in having any kid, when you go from not having any children to having a child, it can, I think, be hard for some. I don't think it was very hard for me. Like, I enjoyed it. I wanted a baby, and I have very fond memories. My mom did help me a lot through that time. I remember she was really there for me, and I think that was a big help for me as well. I will, though, say your transition from having 1 child to 2 is probably going to be your hardest in any transition. Even if you have more kids, I think 1 to 2 is hard because you're used to parenting 1 child. You're used to taking care of that 1 child, being at their disposal, taking care of their needs. So all of a sudden you have another one, and you're like, oh, geez, like, which one do I take care of first? It's kind of a juggling act that you figure out. And I definitely remember that with my first and my second. I remember because both of them were in diapers at the time too. So it was like a diaper palooza all over my house. So I would say that's the hardest. Anytime after my second one, I never found it hard having another baby. It's been easy. Especially when I had my last baby, my 4th, it was easy because my kids are older now too. I have a 9-year-old, I have a 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old. They were so helpful, like amazingly helpful. It was I loved it. I was like, this is great having older kids that can really help me. I mean, they can really get me a diaper, they can get me clothes, they can even tidy up a little bit. It was helpful. So I think going from 4 to 5 for me, I'm not worried about it at all. It's gonna be easy. Not easy, but I'm not worried. Am I planning a natural childbirth? I am. I have, out of all my 4 births, 3 of them have been all natural. I did get an epidural with my second child. I really want to say I was kind of pushed into doing that option. With my first, I had an all-natural labor. I did it. It was something I really wanted. I had a really great support system of my mom and my husband being there. The nurses knew I wanted an all-natural labor. Yes, it was it was 12 hours long, and I pushed for 3 hours, and my son was 11 pounds. And I think that's what kind of a little bit scared me into getting an epidural. I kind of was like, should I get one? Because I didn't want to go through 12 hours of all-natural labor again. With my daughter, I remember I had a horrible back labor, and I remember being hooked up to the monitors, and like I didn't get a break in between my contractions. They were just stacking one on top of another. And I remember thinking to myself, like, should I get one? And the nurse was like, yeah, like, I'm not going to deal with this. You just need to get one. And she really kind of like feared me. And I feel like I was pushed into getting one, where I think if my mom probably would have been there, I think my mom would have been like, are you sure? Do you want this? And I think I would have thought about it more. But at the time I got the epidural, my mom wasn't there. It was the day before my brother's wedding too. So it's quite quite the story, but my baby was born on my brother's wedding day. I didn't get to attend. Sorry, you guys. But I'll never forget their anniversary because of it. But I did get an epidural. I do regret it. I had horrible like side effects from it. I felt so extremely dizzy. My blood pressure dropped. It only took on one side at first. And then even afterwards, I had a lot of residual pain in my back from the site of where they put the epidural in. So I just don't want it. I've been through 2 other labors, all natural. I know I can do it, so I am planning a natural birth this go around. Hospital bag, I will end up sharing that obviously as we get closer to there. So if you guys are really interested in it, let me know, because I would like to share things that you can, like things that you need to bring with you. I should know I've done it 5 times, or I will be doing it 5 times. Are my older kids excited? Yes, they are. They were thrilled. I'll try to put the video in here of them finding out.
Oh, no, I can't wait to join you all.
I can't wait to join you all. I'll
be here in December this year.
So wait, does anybody have any guesses?
No.
No guesses? Okay. Do you, Daphne, wait. Do you want to open the box, Daphne? Okay, let her open the box.
Who is that?
What is that, Lo?
A baby. Who is it? Wyatt?
What's that say?
What does that say?
It says, and baby makes 5.
Anna.
No. How many babies do we have now?
4. You're gonna have 5?
Yeah.
Is it a boy or a girl?
We don't know yet. We're gonna have another baby, you guys.
You're gonna have another brother or sister.
What? This is the baby. Again. Then this one doesn't say.
See, that's why mommy's been so tired and doesn't feel good lately. I got it.
A fun way to find it.
I know. I wanted to surprise you guys. We've been keeping it a secret for a little bit. Well, you don't. Yep, it's gonna be born in December.
Mommy. What time you look
It already looks big.
We're gonna have so many birthdays now.
I know.
We're gonna have a birthday after another.
Are you excited? Excited. Like they were really excited. So I'm happy that they're excited. They still are. I think since they were a little bit older when I had my last baby, that they really remember kind of going through that. And so my girls love kind of like watching week by week. I'll share the updates of what the baby looks like right now. They love seeing my stomach grow. They did go to a doctor's appointment with me and they got to hear the heartbeat and they're like, oh, that's the baby. So it's really exciting for them. They are, of course, rooting. I got my older one rooting for a boy. I got my girls rooting for a girl. So it's just exciting. We're all really happy about it. Everything I have to share with you. Are you out of breath yet? I know I am. One last tip I have for you guys that I forgot to share in the beginning. So for when you are going through your first trimester, you're sick, you don't feel good, you're tired, maybe you don't feel like cooking dinner, do yourself a favor and go out, go to Costco, go to whatever store you can, buy a ton of pre-made meals, frozen meals, just whatever you can, or even think of super quick, easy things that you can make in a snap for those nights that you feel gross and you don't want to smell food, or you can just easily throw something into the oven, or your husband can easily cook. It's gonna save you a lot, because I know there was times where I wasn't hungry and I did not want to cook dinner. I didn't want to smell dinner. So I really appreciated having frozen meals on hand that I could throw in my oven. So that's a good tip to have. All right, you guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it helpful for any new moms out there who are searching all over the internet, new symptoms or your first trimester symptoms, what to expect. I hope this was really helpful to you. Congratulations if you are pregnant. But I hope that you guys stay around and subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like, comment down below. I really love reading your guys' comments and replying to them, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.